Hi, it's Danny from Danny Sportsbar here in Pattaya, looking ahead at the week in the world of sports. Got a lot going on this week in the world of football. 2 rounds of the Premier League, obviously in the NFL, getting down to the playoff race, college football, going to the conference championship games. But what we're going to start talking about this week is Formula One, because the final race of the season is this coming Sunday at 8 p.m. from Abu Dhabi, the Abu Dhabi Grand Prix. Now, a few weeks ago, it looked like this would not be that important. The Constructors' Championship, McLaren sewed that up a long time ago, and it looked like Lando Norris a few weeks ago looked like he was probably going to win the Drivers' Championship, maybe with a week or two to spare. Then the last 2 weeks happened. Both McLaren cars got disqualified in Las Vegas, technical reasons. Max Verstappen won that race. Max Verstappen won the race in Qatar over the weekend, and the McLarens made some tactical errors with a yellow flag early in the race and didn't decide to pit, and Verstappen was able to pick up more points. And Verstappen, who at the end of August was more than 100 points back in the Drivers' Championship, goes into the final week of the season, the final race of the season, only 12 points behind Lando Norris. Oscar Piastri just behind Verstappen, also still technically alive in the Drivers' Championship, could win it, but most likely it's going to be Norris or Verstappen. Norris still has that 12-point lead, is a big lead. If he finishes in the top 3, if he makes the podium this weekend in Abu Dhabi, he's the Drivers' Champion no matter where Max Verstappen finishes. But if Norris finishes 4th or lower and Verstappen wins the race, Verstappen would be a champion for the 5th straight year, and it would be really a total disaster for McLaren, even though they've won the Constructors' Championship. But what it's given us, if you're a Formula One fan and you're not necessarily a fan of one of the teams or one of the drivers, it's given us excitement going into the final week. Maybe not the same as the year that Hamilton and Verstappen battled right to the end, but still, there's going to be a lot of focus on this, and there's a huge amount of pressure on Lando Norris. If he gets off to a good start, if he does well in the qualifying at 9 p.m. Saturday, gets off to a good start, can hold on, just make sure he finishes in the top 3, he'll win the Drivers' Championship, and nobody will worry that he stumbled a little the last few weeks. But a lot of people are going to be watching it. We will be showing it with sound. We try to do it with the Formula One. We can't always. Sometimes it is going up against other big events, Premier League football, for example. But this week, 8 p.m., we will have the sound on. We expect a lot of people here, and I think anybody who has any interest in Formula One is going to want to watch this race. The other thing other than football this week is we have the second Ashes test. Now, the first test only lasted 2 days. Australia beat England. It was actually a pretty exciting 2 days, but still only 2 days, and out of the potential 5. This one, it's playing in Brisbane, it's a day-night test. That's good for us. What that means is play starts every day at 11 a.m. We'll open at 12 noon, as we always do. But from Thursday, and we'll see how many days it goes, but Thursday, potentially Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, we'll have test 2, the Ashes. Obviously, a lot of pressure on England after the way they ended up losing that first test to come back. They certainly don't want to be down 2-0 in a 5-test series. But that starts on Thursday. Now back to football. As we said, 2 Premier League rounds. The first round is Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. Late nights for us. The games are 2:30, 2:45, even 3:15 for some of the feature games, including Wednesday night Liverpool and Sunderland. Normally you wouldn't think that's a huge game, but obviously Liverpool, they got a win over the weekend, but still trying to get back in form. Sunderland have been one of the really surprise teams so far in the first third of the Premier League season, and they came back and got a win on Saturday night. So they're going to be certainly looking to make another statement going up against Liverpool. On the weekend, we have a regular round of games starting on Saturday, and really probably the feature game of the weekend is the first game, 7:30 p.m. on Saturday night, Aston Villa against Arsenal. And Arsenal obviously have been the form team in the whole league, maybe in all of Europe so far this season. They're top. Aston Villa have been coming back up into the race. They're 4th right now. Now, where you are in the race other than 1st right now doesn't necessarily say very much, because from 2nd to 15th, there's not much of a gap in the Premier League right now, even a third of the way into the season. But Aston Villa are playing fairly well. Of course, Arsenal's former manager, Unai Emery, is the manager at Aston Villa. So that could be an interesting game, 7:30 on Saturday night. Premier League Saturday, Premier League Sunday. There's a game Monday night too. In college football, as we talked about, college football conference championship games, most of them are not in our time zone. But on the Big 12 championship game, we will have live midnight on Saturday night. NFL, as usual, on Sunday night, 1 a.m. Two games I wanted to talk about. They're both division leaders playing against each other. And as we get down towards the end of the NFL season, the chance to win that division and sew up a playoff spot is a big deal. We've got the Colts and the Jaguars in the AFC South, and in the AFC North, the Ravens and the Pittsburgh Steelers. Baltimore Ravens, Pittsburgh Steelers. Both those games are at 1 a.m. There's 6 other games at 1 a.m. Some of them involve at least one playoff team or potential playoff team, but the two teams that both need a win and both in the race are those two games. So we will have the NFL as usual, have Premier League as usual, the Ashes this week, and of course we've got Formula One qualifying at 9 p.m. on Saturday, the big race, final race of the Formula One season, 8 p.m. on Sunday night. Come see us here at Danny's.